Imagine qualifying for the World Cup, finishing third in your group, and still advancing to the next round. That sounds impossible, yet that's exactly how the 2026 FIFA World Cup can work. The strange part is that even many longtime soccer fans are still confused by the new format. Because for the first time in history, the World Cup will look very different from the tournament most people remember. More teams, more matches, more opportunities, and more drama. So, how does the 2026 FIFA World Cup actually work? And why do many people believe it could become the biggest World Cup ever? To understand the answer, we need to start before the tournament even begins. Most people think the World Cup starts when the opening match is played, but the journey actually begins years earlier. National teams from around the world spend years trying to earn a place in the tournament, and earning that place is incredibly difficult. For modern American fans, this may seem surprising. Not every country automatically qualifies. Most nations must survive regional qualification tournaments. Countries in Europe compete against other European nations. South American teams battle for limited spots. The same happens across Africa, Asia, North America, and Oceania. Some nations qualify comfortably, others survive until the final match day. And some of the world's biggest soccer countries occasionally fail to qualify at all. That's what makes reaching the World Cup so special. For many nations, qualification alone becomes a historic achievement. But that's only part of the story, because once qualification ends, the real tournament begins. And this is where the 2026 World Cup introduces its biggest change. For decades, the World Cup featured 32 teams. Now there will be 48. The largest World Cup in history. More countries, more fans, more opportunities for underdogs, and potentially more surprises than ever before. But how do 48 teams actually fit into one tournament? The answer begins with the group stage. The 48 teams are divided into 12 groups. Each group contains 4 teams. Every team plays 3 matches, one against each opponent in its group. And every match matters, because points determine who advances. A win earns 3 points, a draw earns 1, a loss earns 0. Simple. But the consequences can be enormous. One goal can change an entire tournament. One late equalizer can save a nation. One defeat can create immediate pressure. And this is where things start to get interesting. Most people assume only the top 2 teams advance. That would seem logical. But the 2026 World Cup includes an extra twist. The top 2 teams from every group move on. That accounts for 24 teams. But the knockout stage requires 32. So, where do the remaining 8 spots come from? The best third-place teams. And suddenly, finishing third doesn't necessarily mean elimination. A nation can survive a difficult group. A team can recover from an early setback. Hope stays alive longer, and that changes the strategy completely. For modern fans, this may seem unusual, but it creates something fascinating. Teams continue fighting until the very end because qualification remains possible, even when things appear to be going wrong. And that's when everything changes. Because after the group stage comes the knockout phase, the part of the tournament most fans remember. This is where there are no second chances, no opportunities to recover, no next game if you lose, win and you advance, lose and you go home. The first knockout round now includes 32 teams. That's another major change from previous World Cups. 32 become 16, 16 become 8, 8 become 4, 4 become 2, and eventually only 2 nations remain, the finalists. But the most important detail is often overlooked. What happens if a knockout match ends in a draw? For American sports fans, this is often one of the biggest questions. The answer creates some of the most dramatic moments in sports. First comes extra time. The match continues beyond 90 minutes. Each team gets another chance to find a winner. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And when neither side can break the tie, the tournament reaches its most nerve-wracking moment: penalty kicks. Entire World Cups have been decided this way. Millions watch. Entire nations hold their breath. One player steps forward. One goalkeeper waits. One kick can create a hero or heartbreak. And that's why penalty shootouts remain some of the most unforgettable moments in soccer history. But here's what makes the World Cup different from almost every other sporting event. The tournament isn't just testing skill. It's testing endurance, mental strength, adaptability, pressure. A nation must survive multiple stages against opponents from completely different soccer cultures. One match might feature a European powerhouse. The next could feature an African underdog, then a South American giant. Every challenge is different. Every round asks new questions, and only one team answers all of them. What most people believe is that the World Cup is simply a giant soccer tournament. But the reality is much bigger. It's the only competition where almost the entire planet dreams of participating. Nearly every nation wants to be there. Millions dream of representing their country. Billions follow the tournament. And now, with 48 teams, even more countries will have that opportunity. That's one reason FIFA expanded the format. More representation, more stories, more nations, more dreams, and perhaps more unforgettable moments. Because every expansion creates new possibilities. A country making its first appearance, an underdog shocking the world, a player becoming a national hero. History has a way of appearing where nobody expects it. And that's exactly why so many people love the World Cup. Every 4 years, the tournament creates new stories that last forever. So, how does the 2026 FIFA World Cup actually work? 48 nations qualify. They are divided into 12 groups of 4. Each team plays 3 group stage matches. The top 2 teams in every group advance. The 8 best third-place teams advance as well. 32 teams enter the knockout rounds. Extra time and penalties decide tied elimination games, and one nation survives the entire journey to become world champion. But perhaps the most important thing isn't the format itself. It's what the format creates: hope, pressure, drama, heartbreak, and moments that entire countries remember for generations. Had you already understood the new 2026 World Cup format before watching this? And do you think expanding the tournament to 48 teams is a good idea? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the World Game, and I'll see you in the next story.